There's a lot of conflicting information out there, particularly when it comes to nutrition and training in the fitness world. Most of us have heard the message, listen to your body. And when that's discussed, most people will agree. But when push comes to shove, they have no idea how to, or they just don't believe that they should listen to your body. Running counter to that advice is to be disciplined, right? And we've spoken about discipline before, that we need to supersede our body with our mind. We have to use our mind to control our body and essentially dominate our body. So we're getting these really conflicting messages in society. The vast majority of people are not listening to their body at all. And they are trying to use willpower and discipline to get their way through any type of fitness goal or health goal. Then they wonder why they get success in the short term and long term, they fall flat on their face. Today, we're going to discuss intuitive eating, which is another way of saying listen to your body. We're going to discuss whether or not it works and how we should go about listening to our bodies. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 26 of the Kayvman Show. Today, we're discussing intuitive eating. We've done a whole bunch of stuff on nutrition in the past, and I've touched on intuitive eating before. I wanted to dedicate a whole podcast to it because it encapsulates a lot of the philosophy that people are missing when it comes to the Kayvman Show and my philosophy on life in general, but fitness. It actually has nothing to do with the specifics of what you eat, only in terms of how it tastes to you. So taste is a big factor there, and it ties in with that kind of pleasure pain principle, and it is a counter to this culture of discipline that we have in our society. David Goggins telling you to run when you've had one of your feet burn off or whatever. People are telling you to get up at 4 a.m. and basically do a whole bunch of shit that you don't want to do. This one's counter to it. And by the way, I see a lot of value in doing shit you don't want to do, because for most people, they have no idea what they want to do. Actually, they would enjoy getting up at 5 a.m. and going for a run or meditating. They just don't know it because they're so divorced from who they are. They do want to accomplish great things, and that is a great feeling. To be great, it feels fantastic to level up and to do things you were never able to do and to push yourself to the limit. It's a fantastic feeling, and I love it. Most people would love it, but they don't know how to get there, or they have this inertia and they're living a shadow of their self. So they don't really know what they would love and what they wouldn't love. I'm going to go back to intuitive eating specifically and use eating and food and nutrition as a way of explaining this principle that there is a wisdom in our bodies that will take us to the next level if we listen to it. Intuitive eating, or listening to your body, is something that a lot of people talk about but don't really understand. When it comes to effectiveness, intuitive eating is basically just eating what you want when you want and stopping when you're full. That's all it is by far the most effective diet strategy when studied. They've done studies on this, and you can look this up for yourself. I want you to go down your own rabbit hole and do your own research. This becomes something that you are embodying, that is internalized to you. Intuitive eating is the most effective nutritional strategy long term that we know of. Not low carb, no. The most effective diet strategy that has been studied is intuitive eating. I believe you should couple this intuitive eating with the caveman diet. My diet, mostly meat, dairy, and fruit. This component of intuitive eating is crucial. So let's break down exactly what intuitive eating is. The first component of intuitive eating is eating what you actually want. That's going to take some trial and error, because a lot of times you don't really know what you actually want. More often than not, there is just fear about what you actually want. There's fear. It's ridiculous to say that you're afraid of food, but people are terrified of food because they think if they eat what they want, they are going to turn into a whale. Because you have spent so long fighting your inclinations and fighting your body, there is this sort of balance that needs to be had where your body is years and years of desire pent up and wants pleasure, pure pleasure from food. And it's going to crave shit, right? In your view, junk food, things that you said, no, I don't want to do that, right? That forbidden fruit is going to be there in your psyche, in your brain, in your nervous system, and in your gut too. You're going to have these cravings where you want a whole cheesecake. Am I telling you to indulge it or not? I'm going to tell you how it works and you figure that out for yourself. But essentially, people don't trust that they should eat what they want. The other components are eat what you want, when you're actually hungry, right? People don't necessarily know what hunger is. A growling in the belly, most people understand as hunger, but there's these pre-stages to hunger that we don't really understand. You just have to get into your body, like really feel your body and feel like, does my body actually want this or not? There's some trial and error. You will find out times where you realized you thought you were hungry and you weren't. You just were craving things. That's different. That's a purely mental thing. Did your body actually want the cheesecake or whatever? Were you actually hungry or not? But you should probably be bold about it and just try. If you think your body wants something, see if it works or not. If you get that kind of sick feeling, then you know that your body didn't really want that. So the third part of intuitive eating is stopping when you're full. This is the crucial component. Another way of saying stopping when you're full is stop when it doesn't taste good anymore. And that's why eating what you want is so crucial, because then you're following the path of tasting good, something that tastes good, something that gives you pleasure. When the pleasure signal is off, you're no longer getting pleasure from your food, you stop eating. People are taking Ozempic to get this signal to stop eating. There's a cascade of hormones and chemicals that run through your body and brain that tell you to stop eating in no uncertain terms. If you ignore that enough, you'll get nausea. You'll get a sickly feeling because your body is telling you to stop eating. Those injections, they flood your body with hormones, chemicals, and neuropeptides to tell you to stop eating. Why are they bad at listening to the stop eating signal? Because they don't recognize it. Why do they not recognize it? Because they never followed the path of wanting to eat in the first place. They're not on that pathway of pleasure. I want to eat. I'm hungry. This is what I want to eat. That's when I stop eating, because that's a pleasure-based principle, right? You need the pleasure. Otherwise, you will not be able to tell when to stop eating. Most people are eating with their head, with their mind, with their brain, with their voice in their head, right? Using logic. This is what I need to eat. And because you're following a different pathway that's not pleasure-based, you don't get the signal to stop eating. This is crucial. If you do not follow the pleasure pathway of food, you will not get the signal to stop eating. The pain won't kick in and say, I'm done. I feel a bit gross now. I'm done. That's how I know to stop eating. I'll give you my example. I know when to stop eating because I follow a pleasure principle. I eat what I want when I'm hungry. And then it's very easy for me because I'm training myself. That's my guiding North Star. It's very easy to me to calibrate when to stop eating because I no longer getting pleasure, right? Get pleasure from food. When there's no more pleasure and it starts to die down, preferably before it turns into actual pain, like nausea or physical pain from eating so much. But that's a last resort. Over time, you'll get better. When you're no longer getting pleasure from food, you stop eating. Notice I haven't mentioned meat once. I haven't mentioned fruit once. I haven't mentioned cheese. So I'm not going to use this podcast to drill you about what to eat, what you want. If you couple this with the caveman diet, you will absolutely fly. Your body will transform overnight. Literally, I'm telling you. If you're a vegetarian or a vegan or you just don't want to, don't worry about it. Use this intuitive eating model, okay? Here's the RX for today. Commit to this for 1 week from today. Eat what you want, meaning what will physical and mental pleasure. Enjoy it. Eat what you want when you are hungry. You have to be hungry to enjoy food. If you're not hungry, food is not enjoyable. Eat what you want when you're hungry, okay? And then stop eating. Don't really worry about fullness because fullness can be confusing for people. Eat what you want when you're hungry and then stop eating when it doesn't taste good anymore. When you're no longer deriving pleasure from food, preferably before you're getting pain, preferably before you get pain from food. Just stop eating when it's no longer pleasurable. That is intuitive eating. Do that for 1 week and see what happens to your body. That's called listening to your body. That is how you listen to your body. This has been studied scientifically, and I've tried it with myself and my clients. Intuitive eating does work. But I want you to find out for yourself, does this work? Do you get in better shape? Do you feel better? Does inflammation go down? This can also work for muscle gain. Using that pleasure principle from food will help you gain muscle too. Does this make your body better or worse? What are the results? You tell me, and I'll see you in the next one. Let me know how it goes. Peace.